Attention, everybody. The views and opinions expressed on this show are not necessarily those of Acts Ministry, Acts Media Group, and or their affiliate and subordinate ministries and or nonprofits. Some of this content may be adult in nature, so please use discretion while watching with your children. Good morning! Coming to you live from Acts Media Group headquarters here in the beautiful Springfield, Missouri. It's the Morning Drive with Matt and Rooster.
Matt and Rooster.
I'm trying to do like 10 things at once at the moment, and it's fun. This is where having ADD is, or ADHD is very handy. Because you can focus on like 10 things at once. Now, today's topic is funny jokes, but you'll also notice if you clicked on our Facebook account, you notice it also said we're reading out of Galations chapter 2, verse 20, because that's the scripture of the day. I'm doing that in honor of Jay, because, you know, and everybody else, also in honor of God, because without him, we wouldn't be here. You know, I know this guy. I wrote that. All right. So, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Morning Drive with Matt and Jay. My name is Matt.
Johnny Rooster.
I guess you could be a Jay.
AKA
Start with a J.
Jay Rooster.
Jay Rooster. So, today is going to be an interesting time. I am going to log into our Facebook so that way I can see what everybody is saying.
Funny jokes. You guys, you want to hear a good funny one to start out?
Yeah.
This is duct tape. Now, where's the goose tape?
Where's the goose tape?
There you go. Just made that one up.
But isn't it spelled D-U-C-T?
It is duct tape, but they've branded this duck, D-U-C-K.
Oh, yeah, the brand is duck.
So,
good morning, Laura Alford.
Very misleading.
Welcome to the party. We're glad to have you here today.
Bring your joke cap on.
We want to hear y'all's jokes too.
Funny shoes on.
Yeah. Funny jokes are fun. You know, you and I, Johnny, we're the king of like one-liners and two-liners. You know, like Stephen Wright, he's a really funny comedian. And he's like one of the king of one-liners. Like we were talking about Mitch Hedberg also, who is now no longer with us in this world. Funny men, comedians. I mean, their specialty was just one-liners. Well, and Stephen Wright's still alive, and he's that one dude that's got the bald on top with the really long hair, and he's like, I spilled swab remover on my dog, and now he's gone. You know, it's like these people, they find this gimmick, this thing that works out great for them, and it's fun.
Yeah, it is incredible how they can talent their craft like that with just one or two lines.
Well, that's like, what's his name? What's this guy's name? My brain just left me. The guy, he always says, Hot Pocket. Jim Gaffigan.
Yes.
He has this bit where when he's doing his comedy routine, he always has a response from like what sounds like a lady in the audience. This guy talks about food like you know, and it works, and it works for him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it works for him.
The voice of the audience member, you know.
Now this is these are off of boardpanda.com. The 52 of the funniest two-line jokes ever. And I love these things. My favorite one, right out of the gate. Hilarious. I told my wife she was drawing her eyebrows too high. She looked surprised. Get it? Have you ever seen a woman draw her eyebrows on too high?
Uh-huh.
Or too archy?
I always wondered about the ones with no eyebrows, but the illustrated version is all they have.
Now here's a really funny one. Well, if you're a Christian and you like comedy, and this is good humor here. And the Lord said unto John, Come forth, and you will receive eternal life. But John came fifth and won a toaster. You know, that kind of stuff. Two-liners.
Yeah.
And we'll be sprinkling those.
Fourth. No, I came fifth. Reminds me of Dennis. He came in. He came in yesterday.
11th. He said I was number 11.
His sticker says I voted, and he goes, "Yeah, I was number 11." Imagine 10 people wanting to vote more badly than Dennis.
My wife told me to stop impersonating a flamingo, and I had to put my foot down. That's what Laura said.
Yeah.
I love it.
A flamingo.
Well,
Everybody's
man.
standing on that one foot.
My dad, people used to get him those lawn flamingo type things all the time as jokes because he couldn't stand them. Like,
I couldn't stand him. See?
nah. So yeah, he
That's
was
funny too.
anything pink flamingo. You know, like he loved the real birds. They, you know, he thought they're God's creation. They're beautiful.
Yes.
But those decorative flamingo stuff,
Yes.
you know, like you stick in the yard, he hated those.
Oh, yeah.
So every Christmas, he always got something with those pink flamingos on it.
Pink flamingos,
Pink flamingos.
are quite a thing.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
got a flamingo joke. It's longer than one line.
Morning, Larry Milton.
But it is pretty flamingo-y.
Yeah.
That's about the guy that's walking through a Mexican village alone. And
Yeah.
he's got this little dog with him, a little Australian dog, dressed up in pink feathers. And he walks by none other than Daniel Boone's best friend speaking with the drummer for the Beatles about a very popular senior citizen game. What does it mean? Pah, it's single gringo, flamingo, dingo, mingo, ringo, bingo, lingo.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
That's
It's
a
an,
mouthful.
Oh, my goodness. Play it back and think it out.
That is a mouthful.
Flamingo, bingo, dingo, bingo. Mingo was on Daniel Boone. He was the sidekick Indian friend of Daniel Boone. His name was Mingo. Ringo Starr is the Beatles drummer. So they're talking about bingo, and their lingo is bingo lingo.
Got
And he's a single gringo with a flamingo dingo, which is an Australian dog. And he's
With
dressed
Ringo Lingo.
and it's just too much. It's
Yeah.
just too many go, go, go. Flamingo. It triggered that.
That's
So
funny.
That's what a flamingo can do.
So yeah, it looks like everything's running good today. We are running hot.
Hot,
Good.
coming in hot.
Well, not hot because I got the cooler boosting fan.
Dusty
on.
Slay is a comedian. He says he's not coming in hot. He wants to just come in lukewarm.
Yeah, lukewarm. Number 3 on the list. I threw a boomerang a few years ago. I now live in constant fear.
A few years ago?
Yes, I threw a boomerang a few years ago. I now live in constant fear.
Can never know when that'll come back.
Right. My wife accused me of being immature, and I told her to get out of my fort. That sounds like something you would have to
Very
say.
mature, yeah. Get
Yeah.
out of my fort.
Mrs. Roosters
Yeah,
probably has
always babysitting.
to. You don't need a parachute to go skydiving. You need a parachute to go skydiving twice.
Yeah.
Parallel lines have so much in common. It's a shame they'll never meet.
Oh,
You know,
yes.
that's not very funny.
It's true.
No, this is one I like. Someone stole my mood ring, and I don't know how I feel about that.
Did you ever have a mood ring?
Yes. Well, I always borrowed them from other people because, you know, my biological mother never really spent money on petty little things like that, you know.
Of course.
So
Only the essentials.
only the essentials, you know, drugs and alcohol.
That's it.
And
You don't
shoes
need a
for her
mood ring.
boyfriend. Anyways, no, that was only a couple times. My grandfather has the heart of a lion and a lifetime ban at the zoo.
He stole that heart right out of
That's
that
right.
lion, huh?
That's right. I love this. Number 9. Women only call me ugly until they find out how much money I make.
Yeah, there you go.
Then they call me ugly and poor.
Awesome.
That's like that guy said, you know the difference between a perverted old man and a sexy senior citizen? The money.
The money.
He
Yeah.
would say, guess which one I am?
Yeah. The first one.
That's the first. So Laura says, I went to buy some camo pants, but I couldn't find any.
That's why they're actually camo.
Yeah,
You
yep.
can't find those things. That's good.
I love this joke. This is awesome. Number 10. How many Germans does it take to screw in a light bulb? 1. They're efficient and not very funny.
Yeah, it's just that would be like a Jay thing, you know. You just get it done and don't make it funny.
Yeah, you're not completely useless. You can always serve as a bad example.
That's right.
Number 12. I broke my finger last week. On the other hand, I'm okay.
On the other hand,
These are going to be sprinkled throughout the show today. I love cheesy 1 and 2 liner jokes. All right, so one of the things, and Jay is actually kind of meandering his way back here now.
okay.
He's going to be riding in all of this rain that's, you know, eventually. It'll be there by tomorrow. It'll be there, and he'll be having a ride in it.
Oh, okay.
But he said packing up camp's going to be interesting. I talked to him just before the show today. Laura, she's on a roll today.
Okay.
I was wondering why the Frisbee kept getting bigger and bigger, but then it hit me. Larry said Daniel Boone's side name was Cincinnati.
Cincinnati Boone? I'm not following it.
I'm not either.
I'm missing that one, guys.
Yeah, me too.
Help me out.
That was Larry Melton.
I'm sure it's good. I just don't know who Cincinnati is, if it's Cincinnati Boone or something else.
Side name was Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
Daniel Boone's side name. I guess if that's a joke, Larry, I'm not getting it. I'm sorry.
It.
I'm sorry, Larry.
It's like an airplane. It flew over my head.
Now, today's scripture of the day, before Larry asks, it's
Yeah.
out of Galatians chapter 2, verse 20. I have been crucified with Christ. It is no longer I who live, but Christ lives in me. In the life which I now live in the flesh, I live by faith in the Son of God who loved me and gave himself for me. I love that stuff. This is good stuff. I have been crucified with Christ. It is no longer I who live, but Christ lives in me. In the life I now live in the flesh, I live by faith in the Son of God who loved me and gave himself for me.
I have to remember that a lot because in the flesh I want to go different directions.
Oh, yeah, yeah. We're really, our flesh is weak, bro.
Feels like we're susceptible to either temptation or distraction or anxiety or anger, whatever it is.
Yeah.
A lot of things just jump in the way when they didn't really have to.
Well, the enemy knows all of your buttons and your switches and everything that makes you want to.
If you died to yourself and you live a new life, wouldn't that mean that you wouldn't have, it does mean you wouldn't have to go back.
Right.
And yet, I'm curious why we find ourselves back in that.
Well,
We don't
because
even have to.
we don't have to.
It's so
That's
funny.
the thing.
What
But
do
we
we avoid? We're avoiding, we could avoid all of this.
But we do because it's,
Are we going to just blame it on human weakness?
I mean, that's got to be it, right?
It's got to.
It's a comfort zone of
I
sort.
don't like being human sometimes.
I know.
I want to
it's
have my spirit man only.
It's a comfort zone.
What's
like
up with this
we
humanity?
know where. Okay, so we wallered in it for so long. That's like we find ourselves gradually drifting back into the waters that we're familiar with.
I know that's like the people that I am so used to thinking in a poverty mind instead of a wealth generating mind, like possibilities. My wife asked me about something, how about generating something big? And I'm like, well, I could never do that. That's my mind. It's like, whoa. Can you imagine Jesus saying, well, I could never do that? Jesus is like, I'm stumped by that one. I don't know what to do. But I say that stuff. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know, because I don't want to think about it, Matt. I just don't want to dwell on a situation that I can't resolve.
Yeah.
Even with the stuff that's going on here, it's
We're men. We like to fix things.
We're developing a new strategy for communication on a broadcast, and I don't want to fix everything all the time. I just want to do, but that doing requires all the other details and marketing and.
But also, like. You find yourself, regardless of what you're here for initially, you find yourself ultimately working towards the end goal of the mission, so to speak, as we call it. We call it the mission, which is unity in Christ through the Holy Spirit, and doing the right thing, serving where needed. So regardless of what people come in here to initially do, they end up being a part of growth and development. Because they got to come up with ideas on how to work things,
It doesn't just come along with a big budget or something.
But like you for instance, I'm going to call you out here. Like you've said numerous times, I'm not a technician. I am a content creator. Well, along the line, you have to pretend to be a technician from time to time. Whenever you're doing like the pre editing on the titles and things like that, and it's like you may as well learn the stuff because you're going to have to know it eventually. And you learn it regardless. Chance Mills, man, good to see you. Chance Mills is a friend that goes to our church, him and his family. We saw them on Easter Sunday. What's up, Matt? Good to see you Sunday, brother. It is very good to see you. Now, Laura Alford says again, I know they say that money talks, but all mine says is goodbye.
Yeah, yeah.
Larry said Daniel Boone's sidekick was Cincinnati.
Okay, I get it. I'm there now. I'm with them. I'm doing the flashback in my mind. Cincinnati was a little guy with a big beard, and he would be at the pub, and he was hanging out with Daniel Boone. His friend Mingo, played by Ed Ames, was a very close friend who was his guide out in the woods, understood things of the wilderness.
Is this back to the bingo, mingo, flamingo
Yes,
lingo?
so that's why they're talking about Cincinnati was a character in the Daniel Boone TV series.
Oh.
However, even closer, in my opinion, was Ed Ames' character played an Indian character named Mingo, who had been educated and was able to communicate in his language, which was Cherokee, and then, of course, English.
How?
Oh, that reminds me of another joke. Can I tell another joke?
Yeah, of course.
Since we're doing jokes.
Yeah.
I was driving along the interstate, and my family was. I was a little kid. Get out, go to the rest stop, and there's this big Indian standing there. And somebody said, that Indian has the best memory in the entire world. He remembers everything. So I go up to him and go, excuse me, what did you have for breakfast January 5th, 1937? The guy goes, eggs. I go, oh, anybody could think that. I just walk away like, whatever.
No, I think I've heard this, but I don't know.
Now, I'm grown up. It's 30 years later. I'm in my own car with my own family. We stop at the same rest stop. My kid goes up, and it's me with him. And we stand there in front of this Indian. We're trying to impress him with our Indian talk, and we go, how? And he looks at me and he goes, fried.
Ha! Love that.
He's so serious about fried. He remembers everything.
Yeah.
How, what, eggs, how, fried.
Ah.
Wow. It's too crazy. But this Indian talk,
Yeah.
Mingo.
I always like, talk about, soaring with the eagle and running with the buffalo, that kind of.
Mm-hmm.
There's a guy that works up where I work, and his boss would always give him a hard time. Like, not a hard time, but he would, hand him something to say, here, a gift for your people.
Maize.
Yeah, and he would always give everybody weird nicknames on the work list for the Christmas and Christmas Eve and stuff.
Yeah.
There'd be like Matt the Fearsome Pearson, and then they had this guy Rich the Mongoose,
Wow, yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's this guy that used to growl a lot, like whenever he's in a bad mood, he just so it was this person's first name and then his last name, and
So if his name was John Smith, for example,
be John
Smith.
Smith, yes. And
Insert neutral name here.
yeah, insert neutral name here, John Smith, John Doe.
Poor John Smith. He gets all the neutral stuff.
I know, right?
Is there really a guy named John Doe? Is Doe a last?
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure there is.
Wouldn't that be great if John
I'm
Doe
sure there's a
actually
Jane Doe.
If John Doe went missing or something terrible like that, it's like, we have a John Doe. No, we really do.
No, it's like,
have a
what's his name? John Doe.
John Doe.
No, sir, but do you know his real name?
John
Doe. Well, what's his last name? Doe.
D-O-E.
It'd
Be so.
And I'd be the type to be like, a deer, a female
Yeah.
deer,
And they
Ray,
would say,
a guy I know next door.
Too soon. Poor John Doe.
Womp, womp,
Oh,
womp, womp,
apologies
womp.
to all the John Does out there that might be highly irritated.
And the Jake Kundo is out there, and that was what is that called?
Jake Kundo.
Jake Kundo. What is that? What is that martial arts? Jin Kudo.
Jiu-jitsu.
Jin Kudo.
Jinkudo. Pain does not exist in this Jinkudo. In this dojo.
Jin Kudo.
Pain does not exist in this dojo. Yes, sensei.
Apparently, someone in London gets stabbed every 52 seconds.
Ouch.
Poor bastard. So does that-
The same guy.
Yeah.
Every 52 seconds.
A Roman legionnaire walks into a bar, holds up two fingers, and says, 5 beers, please. 5. Okay, Roman numerals. Got it.
Yes, because V.
I love in that movie Disney's Hercules. that cartoon.
Yes.
When it's
911.
yeah, someone call IXII.
Yeah, 911. IXII.
I said, someone stole my Microsoft Office, and they're going to pay. You have my word.
Oh, yeah, my word. A good one.
You excel at these jokes, it says. That's funny.
Yeah. I was thinking about window shopping, and then I realized the people in the store need the glass to cover them.
So I tried to catch fog yesterday.
Yeah?
Missed.
Missed. You know who the laziest people in the world are? Bull riders. Only scheduled to work 8 seconds. Most of them get off early.
Yeah, right.
Lazy bums.
That's true. Working in a mirror factory is something that I can totally see myself doing.
Yeah.
These are terrible.
They're funny.
They are great. Just say no to drugs. Well, if I'm talking to my drugs, I've probably already said yes.
Oh, no. Yes, no.
Maybe so.
Sad.
How does Moses make his coffee? I love this one. He brews it.
Hebrews.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take our...
It says that joke is twice as old as Moses' toes and twice as corny or something like that.
Yeah. Twice as corny. All right, so I'm going to cut this off of here and get ready to play some...
Unusual break.
Unusual break. Let me go ahead and go here.
Of our very important sponsors.
Very important sponsors. Yep, indeed. Important sponsors. All right, so without any further ado, let me find my play button over here. And
Volume.
Switch. Yep, I got the volume up already. All right, so, and I'll have to mute us. So here we go. Here's a word from our sponsors.
I have almost an OCD fetish in crawl spaces. It's where nobody goes, and it's where more problems start, more problems happen, and literally you can have a beautiful, beautiful home and get into a crawl space that could end up being literally tens of thousands of dollars to repair.
When my kids had never seen Star Wars, so we started with episode 1, we went to episode 2, and we did it over different nights. We got to episode 3, the reaction they had to Anakin was like, he's Darth Vader! Oh no! They were like all upset and horrified. Well, we didn't get that because we knew ahead of time that he was going to be Darth Vader. We forget that that's part of the excitement of the original 3 was we didn't know, you know. So, but that's me. I love that stuff.
While other guys are getting, say, $600 to do the same job I'm doing for $300, I get to work and I also get 2 or 3 jobs because of my pricing. So they get their 1 job a week and I'm getting my 10.
All right, and we're back. Back with
the extra mile, just letting them know, extra mile home inspection has been around doing home inspections and radon testing. If you haven't had that done, you're buying a home or you're selling a home or you just want to check. There are different areas. I didn't know this. Different
radon
areas,
testing, huh?
There's different areas, communities are more susceptible to the radon gas than other places. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
So having a radon test can be a really important thing because radon gas can be a leading cause of lung cancer. For
I did not know that.
So
where does radon gas come from?
It's just in the ground, but it's in the ground stronger in different places than it is in others. And
they have radon detectors.
yes, so this radon test is done by Extra Mile Home Inspection LLC, and they're amazing. They're out of Nixa, but they really are second to none, because he said he's done 600 tests, and he hasn't had even one other test beat his for accuracy. And he's able to take radon levels from high down to almost non-existent. It's not guaranteed, but he's had success with all of his tests.
How do you get rid of radon gas?
He's got a way to do that, but that is, if you call Extra Mile Home Inspection, that is Robert and Tori McClernand. They're in that commercial, but I was just going to point that out. Really phenomenal couple.
Yeah.
His prices are lower than his competitors, and he says why? Not because his work's low quality, it's because he likes to work, and he'd rather do 10 jobs a week than one.
Wow.
I know. I said, wow, what a deal. He just likes to keep it going.
Well, I'm going to do this here. Merge it on over.
It's fun to meet these people that have these quality contributions to our community.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't even know that kind of thing existed. I thought you had to call a city official in order to have anything checked.
Yeah. And
Like,
so,
that's...
But these certified inspectors are able to do that.
Larry says his nickname is Crackerhead.
Appropriate.
Yeah.
Put a little cheese on it.
Yeah, put a little cheese on it. Some sausage.
Cracker used to be a term people didn't like.
Yeah.
But I think it's actually, I get it.
Well, there was I asked a friend of mine that he's an African American gentleman.
Yes.
And I asked him where that term came from, if he knew, and he said, well, back in the days of the slavery, the man who had the whip, they called him the cracker. So that's where that. Of course, I've heard a couple of other different,
Now they had the term honky. Honky, remember that one?
Mm-hmm.
You honky?
Yeah, that's still a popular one.
Now, you know where that one came from?
Mm-mm.
The white guys would drive up into the black neighborhood and honk the horn because they didn't want to be seen, but they wanted the black chick to go out with them. And the black guys resented these white dudes showing up and honking their horn and trying to...
So they called them honkies.
Mm-hmm.
So there
you go,
That's
man.
interesting.
That show, Sanford and Son, starring Red Fox, he'd always say, "You honky." He's just so funny.
I like Red Fox.
I like the way he walks. His back trouble.
Yeah, Red Fox, his stand-up comedy is some of it's pretty vulgar, but he's pretty funny.
Yeah.
And like his Confucius says, man who stands on toilet is high on pot.
Yep. Yep.
What did the pirate say when he turned 80? Aye, matey.
Aye, matey.
So stupid.
Yeah. Well, I haven't heard it. That was a good one.
Why do cows wear bells? Because their horns don't work.
Obviously, right?
And then
Horn
someone posted a comment on that. It was upvoted 16 times. Smart and weird.
Smart and weird.
What's the difference between a well-dressed man on a bike and a poorly dressed man on a unicycle?
Well-dressed man on a bike, poorly dressed man on a unicycle. I don't know.
Attire.
Yeah, attire.
I entered 10 puns in a pun contest, hoping one would win, but no pun intended.
No pun intended.
No pun intended?
Yeah.
That was stupid, but funny. No pun intended, wow. We have a genetic predisposition for diarrhea, and it runs in our genes. Gross!
That is sickening.
Oh, man, that's too funny. Someone says, ew-wee.
Yeah.
I came up with a new word yesterday, plagiarism.
It's like that. I can tell you about that thing I read on the wall in a bathroom, which sometimes that's not the best material that's appropriate.
But sometimes
this
it's
was
priceless.
Actually, very priceless. And it said, "Things I hate." Number 1, Lists, number 2. Graffiti, number 3. Irony.
That is pretty funny.
It's great. Good stuff.
Yeah, that is funny.
Lists, graffiti, and irony. I hate these things.
I took the shell off my racing snail, thinking it would make him run faster. If anything, it made him more sluggish. Nah. That's terrible. That's terrible.
Yeah. What does a snail say when he's on the back of a turtle?
Slow down!
That's
Yeah.
the answer I had.
I want to get there, but I want to get there alive.
Hang on.
No, this is one of Jay's favorites. What do you call a dog with no legs?
Anything you want?
It doesn't matter. It's not going to come to you anyway.
I got to say this one about
This is terrible.
All right, say it.
Where did Sally go during the bombing?
Sally go during the bombing.
Everywhere.
Oh, that's terrible.
That's
That's
terrible.
dark humor. My
That is
son
dark
in the
humor.
Navy likes dark humor. I was thinking about this guy. He answered his door one day because there's a knock. He opens the door, nobody's there, and then this little voice goes, "Down here," and he looks down, and it's a snail. The guy just rears back and kicks the snail across the yard. About 2 years later, he opens the door again, and the little guy goes, "What did you do that for?"
Sorry, Larry. Larry says, we're eating breakfast, Matt.
So the guy kicks the snail across the yard. 2 years later, the knock on the door, the snail's there again, goes, "What did you do that for?"
Oh, yeah. All right, so why should you never date a tennis player?
Why should you never date a tennis player?
Because love means nothing to them.
Love.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
The score.
13 love, meaning or 15 love, that means they both have 15, so no one's winning.
Love.
I, for one, like Roman numerals.
I for one.
One. Yep. I feel bad for the homeless guy, but I feel really bad for the homeless guy's dog because he must be thinking, man, this is the longest walk ever.
I wondered about those guys. They have them out there.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a drag to be a homeless guy's dog.
Yeah. What happened whenever the strawberry attempted to cross the road?
What did happen?
There was a traffic jam.
I made up a traffic jam joke yesterday.
Did you?
It's ironic. I said something about how many strawberries does it take to make jam? Because that's a question you don't know.
Right.
How many cars does it take to make a traffic jam? And that's another one. It's like, how many does it take? Seriously, is it 10 cars? Is it 20? At what point do you call it a jam where it's not a jam before that? Oh, 19 cars, good. 20, jam.
Yeah.
Why do we call it that?
Well, yeah, like how many cars does it take to justify calling it a jam?
Yeah.
That's like
Think about that.
I like this joke. What did the grapes say whenever it got stepped on? Nothing. It just let out a little whine.
A little wine.
You know what the strawberry said to the blueberry? Breathe.
Strawberry said to the blueberry.
Because he's turning.
Oh, he's blue?
Yes.
Okay, it took me a moment.
I have a step ladder because my real ladder left when I was a kid.
Stepchild. Step ladder.
How do you find Will Smith in the snow?
Yeah?
You look for the Fresh Prince.
And you thought it was racist.
I know, right? Got you there.
Fresh Prince.
My friend gave me his EpiPen as he was dying. It seemed very important to him that I have it. Someone said, what? You know what they say about cliffhangers.
Uh-oh.
Anyways,
That was good. That's like the one that says, knock, knock.
who's there?
He goes, interrupting cow.
Interrupting cow. Yeah.
Or the one that says, knock, knock, who's there? And the guy goes, totally uncalled for. And it goes, and the guy pops him in the face.
I don't get this one. 16 sodium atoms walk into a bar, followed by Batman.
Sodium. Adam. Adam is the name of Batman. The actor, his name was Adam. So 16 what? Adam?
Sodium atoms.
Sodium. I'm trying to think about that because Adam West or something was the name of the actor that portrayed Batman.
Someone says best joke of all time.
Probably is. We're just not that intelligent. For the real savvy people out there just rolling, you know. That's the intelligent measure right here. You're going to hit the jokes.
Sodium atoms.
Lower your standard if you want to catch us. Get the net really low, right?
Someone's Helen Keller walked into a bar and a table and a chair. That's terrible. Oh, Na. Okay. Na is sodium atoms, right?
Oh, okay.
No, Batman. That's so.
Wow.
I get it.
See, that was real. That's an explanatory thing. Yeah. No.
A priest, a rabbi, and Jesus walked into a bar. The bartender said, "Is this a joke?" This is terrible. All right. What's green, fuzzy, and it fell out of a tree? It would kill you. If it fell out of a tree, it would kill you.
Green fuzzy.
A pool table.
Yeah, that's true. I would kill you.
Let's see what else we got.
You know, Forrest Gump was a middle child.
Was he?
Yeah, his brothers were threeest and fivest. Threeest, fourest, fivest. Onest and twoest.
Larry Melton says, "You know why birds have feathers?" No. Why, Larry?
That's the big weight. That's the cliffhanger.
That is a
You know
cliffhanger.
what they say about cliffhangers? You know, there's this. One of my phones has a cracked screen. And I told him that was that new app. It's not a mistake. It's an app. That's why you got a cracked screen. It's called a bathroom scale app. If you stand on your phone and it cracks, you're overweight.
I knew.
Or you could be AT&T. Too many dropped calls.
I knew a lady who stepped on what she thought was a bathroom scale, and it was a laptop. She said, "It turns out I weigh $900."
That's right. And that's what it takes.
So it's you know what? It's time for us to get out of here already.
There's too many
Almost.
jokes. There's just so many jokes in so little time.
A physicist sees a young man about to jump off the Empire State Building, and he yells, "Don't do it! You have so much potential."
More like a psychiatrist.
First rule of Alzheimer's Club: don't talk about chess club.
You know, I came up with a cure for Alzheimer's, but I forgot what it was.
Doctor said, "Bad news. You have terminal cancer and Alzheimer's patient." Oh, that's not so bad. I could have had cancer. On the other hand, you have different fingers. Oh, so you can't see their dirty underwear. That was a foul joke.
Foul. What was the setup again?
You know why birds have feathers?
So you can't see their dirty underwear.
Yeah.
Speaking of dirty underwear and birds, my guest coming up on Morning Mouth, her name is Nikki Carter, and she owns a bird, a macaw, one of those tropical birds.
Yeah, is it coming in here?
No, but this bird has plucked itself clean. Its feathers are on the wings, but not on the chest.
They call it molting.
Well, no, this sucker's just like bald. It's not just molting. It looks like my pasture, or like maybe if you took your hat off. It's got nothing.
Yeah, birds of a feather balled together.
And birds of not feather.
Isn't that like a sign of stress in birds if they do that?
I don't know. Birds
Morning,
without a
Stacey
feather.
Wedekind.
I'm going to ask Nikki about that when she's on the air with me.
So, well, you know, it is. It's
Speaking
time for us
of-
to get out of here.
Morning Mouth coming up. An incredible celebrity auction.
Yep, and then followed by a new show, Changing Times, with Representative Lynn Morris and his co-host Dawn. I can't remember her last name.
It's like Tony Orlando and Dawn.
Yep. It's going to be good. So I'd like to thank everybody for joining us on the morning drive today.
Check out
we'll be back
Johnny
on
and Nikki at 9.
Yep, we'll be back on tomorrow. Same time, same channel. So until then, my friends, God bless you and keep you. We love you. My name is Matt.
Johnny Rooster.
And this has been
The Morning Drive.